With the world's two largest economies of China and the US locked up in a bitter trade war, the question of a global economic recession is becoming more imminent than before, and this will have a major impact on small economies like Kenya. But what will be the impact of a global economic recession on a burgeoning debt that Kenya is finding itself in?
Basically, I'm borrowing from Peter to pay Paul, from Paul to pay John. And this is what the problem is. Because the last Eurobond, the third Eurobond we took, it's basically went to pay off the interest for the first, the syndicated loans, basically. And we've seen World Bank has pulled out of a couple of projects because of poor management of resources. This particular road here that we're actually standing on, World Bank has pulled out in terms of creating an expressway because the government actually delayed in releasing the money because there is no money. We're not borrowing for...
The issue of debt in Kenya remains a thorny topic, dividing both private and public analysts. Though the government maintains that the debt to GDP ratio is healthy, analysts warn that the country could be hurtling towards a very strenuous period of debt repayment, especially if the global economy enters into an imminent recession.
We are actually looking at recession as a country, not because of what's happening globally, but even because of our own local macroeconomic factors like negative growth in the manufacturing sector, zero growth in the agricultural sector, zero growth in the tourism sector. The sectors that have been growing, service and construction, have actually hit a snag.
The world's two largest economies, the United States and China, are locked in a fierce trade war that now threatens their economic growth, fueling fears of a major world recession. Macroeconomist Steve Biko says if the world's biggest economies enter into contracted growth, Kenya will feel the pinch since the US is Kenya's largest export market, while China is the country's biggest trading partner. Official statistics indicate that Kenya's debt is likely to hit the 6 trillion shillings mark by the end of the year 2019. But Biko says if Kenya's borrowing spree persists, the figure will breach the 6 trillion mark in 2 months' time.
By the end of the year, we'll be looking at 6.7 trillion. One, because of recurrent expenses. Two, because of paying off interest loans. Interest on the loans that we've actually been able to accumulate. So leaving basically zero money for development. The fact that we keep borrowing, let me just give you a good example. Why did we have to spend 18 billion on a 1-week exercise when Ethiopia, with a population of 100 million plus, spent only 6 billion? There's too much.
He says in order to rein on the situation, Treasury should freeze all unnecessary expenditure, stop any further borrowing, and seal all loopholes that are breeding public coffers. O'Brien, Kimani for Business, News Hour.